Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft. My goal is to record 10 videos today. It's a little bit ambitious. We'll see if we're able to make it. My throat is going to be pretty done by the end, but I have some tea and some coffee, so hopefully that helps. We have a really bad pack to start. There's honestly nothing that I consider even that close to first pickable. Duretti is probably the best card, but it does commit us to two colors. Solitude is good, but not a card I'm thrilled about first picking. I think it is between those two, and I think I'm going to take the Solitude, even though it's a little bit weaker. The fact that it is only one color, I think, pushes it over the top, but very much a weak start. Not a card that I like having to take this early. Okay, now we have yet another weak pack. The best card, I mean, well, there's some strong cards, but not strong cards in a vacuum. Upheaval is very, very powerful, but it's really only good if you have a lot of either green ramp stuff or artifact ramp, and so far we have neither. We could take Oblivion Ring, but that's way earlier than I like to take this card. I do think Blue Eye Control is a good deck. We could just take Fact or Fiction, which is the most generically powerful card. And I think that's honestly correct. With white decks, you can either be hyper aggro, and we could just take like Leonin Relic Warder, or play blue. Basically, those are your two main options. I don't really think black-white mid-range is great. So we're probably going to want to play blue if we're playing a Solitude deck. And Fact or Fiction is a nice card because it's splashable. It's card advantage, which white doesn't have great access to. And it's pretty easy to play even if we're base white. Okay, I think we take Misty Rainforest now. There's a Minskin Boo, which I do like a lot. But we have a white and a blue card. This is red and green. We have no fixing, so let's be disciplined here. Misty Rainforest, and then we'll see. We could end up being some sort of 3 or 4 color deck, especially if Minsk comes around. But more likely, we'll just be like blue-white or maybe splashing one other color. There's no good white aggro cards here. I guess we could take like Mox Diamond, but we could also take Is It Signet? But yeah, let's take the Misty Rainforest. Fetch lands are very important in pretty much any deck that's not monocolored, and it's still early. We don't really know where we are. We could still be Mono Black Reanimator for all we know. But it's likely there will be at least 2 colors. Alright, not a bad pack here. I think we take Skyclave Apparition. The Scarab God is good. Glorybringer is good. But we don't have great fixing for those. And I would take probably the Scarab God if we had nothing else in this pack. But Skyclave Apparition is a genuinely great card. It's very good against Moxen, because you exile their Mox, and then even if they kill the Apparition, they don't get it back. So it's sort of like a Reclamation Sage there. But it's a Reclamation Sage with a lot of upside because it can also hit like a Jace the Mind Sculptor, a Minskin Boo, a Coercive Portal. Just a really flexible, interactive card. And it becomes even better if we have ways to blink it, like Restoration Angel, which is going to be a high pickup based on what we have already. So we'll take this. One other thing I'll note about my challenge for myself today is I'm going to try to do 10 pull-ups between each game, and ideally get to 251 on the day, which would break my my lifetime record. So over the next few days, you may see me looking more and more physically tired over the course of it, but hopefully I'll be able to get there. Okay, now we have a really interesting pick. I think we should just take the Palace Jailer. Rogran Triome and Skyclave Apparition and Seachrome Coast are both really, really good. They're both fixing. This would let us get blue-white off of the Misty, and this is just like a solid dual land. But Palace Jailer is that card. Like, I sort of think of cards in a few tiers. There's the cards that are solid playables that you want in your deck, and then there's fixing. And fixing goes higher than the playables. I would take Palace Jailer over, even like a Ponder, like over solid cards. But then there's that tier of cards that are so good that you can sort of warp your entire game plan around them. And Palace Jailer is in that tier of cards. So I will take that even though there was good fixing in the pack. And now, like, History of Benalia is a perfect example of a card that's a solid playable in a deck like this, but Seachrome Coast is definitely the pick. Yeah. I mean, no. Celestial Colonnade is definitely the pick. Okay, now we'll take a Mole Drifter. Not bad. Blade Splicer is fine. Sword of Body and Mind is fine. Parallax Wave is situationally very good, but yeah, let's take the Elemental. Ooh, interesting. Okay, Gideon is very strong, and Thalia is very strong, and we actually have mostly creatures here. But Azorius Signet is also nice if we're trying to play a lot of 4 and 5 drops. But I kind of like the idea of being more of a creature-based tempo deck and actually playing Thalia here. This lowers the curve a bit, and also we do have a high creature count, including like card advantage and whatnot from creatures. Like right now, our creatures provide 2 card advantage and 3 removal spells, a staple to bodies, which makes Thalia a lot better. So I think I will take this, but it's kind of close. Now we get a card that does not play with Thalia in Misty Rain, in Spectral Procession. We could potentially, like green is looking fairly open, and I don't think this is a great deck for Spectral Procession, so we could take Endurance and lean towards Bant and sort of be like a Bant creature deck. I think I'm actually going to do that. This is a Nombo with Thalia. It's not great if we were playing blue cards, which I do want to play. Yeah, let's take the Endurance, actually. I could imagine coming to regret this. Like, now I will take Oblivion Ring. I'm not all in on green stuff, but Endurance is a pretty strong card if we get the mana for it, basically. Do we just take the Relic Warder, actually? Yeah, you know, I will take the Relic Warder. I want to have a high creature count. It sort of goes against the Endurance thing. But such is life. Now let's take Sower of Temptation. Knight of the Reliquary is okay, but I think Sower is going to be a bit better for us. Okay, there's an Arcane Proxy. This card is quite bad for us at the moment. I think we're just taking Winter Orb here as a sideboard card. Wretched Import, okay. There's the History of Benalia. So white's super open. Even last pick Parallax Wave, okay. Both of the blue-white lands got taken, which is not great. From that pack that had Seachrome Coast plus Ralgren Triome. Whoa. Oh, wow. Oko is in this pack, but we will take the Lotus. This isn't the best deck for Black Lotus right now, but it's not bad. Turn 1 Palace Jailer is broken. Like, that is very, very good. But, like, ramping into Solitude or Fact or Fiction is not that impressive. But we're still obviously taking this. Absolutely busted card. Maybe the best card we could get for this deck. I kind of think Mox Pearl would be better, but I'm not going to complain at all. Okay, Misty Rainforest can get Volcanic Island. That doesn't really help us. We could take Lion Sash or just Path to Exile. I think we just take the Path. Giving them a land is not great, but it's a solid removal spell. We don't have removal yet. It's very cheap, which I like in decks like this. Yeah, we'll take the Path. This deck is looking solid so far. I do want the mana to splash these blue cards. We could still be mono white, but the blue cards do add a nice dimension to this deck. Like, we're not that aggressive at the moment. We don't have the 1-drops to really bring the beats early, which means we do want to be able to have some. Like, that means the games are likely going to be going to the mid game at least, if not the late game, which gives a lot of value to this blue card draw. Okay, pretty easy Flooded Strand here. A lot of good cards, but nothing that's great for us. Expressive Iteration is very strong. Dark Confidant, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. But we're not playing those colors. Maybe Archangel Avacyn would be playable for us. Maybe Ancestral Vision, but pretty easy Flooded Strand. Okay, interesting. So Daze is very good if we are, like, Daze is good in decks like this, sort of tempo-y decks, where you're tapping out for your threats and then you're able to still hold up counter magic. With that being said, we don't have great islands at the moment. We don't have a blue fetchable land, so there might be some situation where we don't have an island, and it plays poorly with Thalia. Adonto Vanguard is a good beatdown creature, and then Containment Priest is just a solid card. Right now, it has no Nombos with us. Like, we don't have Restoration Angel or anything. And it's pretty sweet with Parallax Wave. Actually, Parallax Wave and Palace Jailer. Yeah, I think I'm actually taking Containment Priest here. This is Yeah, I think we take Containment Priest and try and wheel Adonto Vanguard. Although we could also, actually no, let's take the Horizon Canopy, which is a good card even if we're not playing green. And then I would be shocked if Containment Priest did not come around here. Okay, now I think we take Flicker Wisp over Phyrexian Revoker. They're both good. Well, maybe for the same reason we actually take the Revoker, because I think Flicker Wisp is fairly likely to wheel, and this is a great card. Yeah, we'll take this. Blue-White Hate Bears. At this point, I actually don't think we're even potentially playing Fact or Fiction in the main deck. I would love to pick up Vryn Wingmare and then be close to all creatures. Huh, okay. There's a Thraben Inspector and a Dismember, and a Snapcaster Mage, but I think we take the Spell Queller. This is a really nice tempo play. Yeah, normally I would take the one drop, but I think Spell Queller is good enough that it's worth taking here. This is exactly the kind of deck for it. Like a tempo-based, semi-aggressive, but interactive creature deck. Now, Plateau does not really help us. I don't think we're super likely to be splashing red, although Goblin Bombardment would be decent in this deck. I don't think Silverblade Paladin is that good for us. You really need like a low curve to make Paladin maximized. So I think I'm just going to take Relic of Progenitus for the sideboard. We're going to have tons of playables, so like a medium replacement level 3-drop playable is not really where I want to be. Ooh. Okay, so a few options here. Jetmir's Garden means that Misty Rainforest gets blue or gets white, which is some value. It also gives us more green if we do end up wanting to splash green. There's Stoneforge Mystic too, but we passed Batterskull and a decent amount of equipment already. And then there's also Time Warp, which is really good in decks like this. I think I'm going to take the Jetmir's Garden, though. It's not a sexy pick, but I think it is kind of necessary. I really want to be able to have decent fixing, and that does help. Okay, now there's Ephemerate, which actually looks sweet in this deck. It's very, very good with Moldrifter, very good with Solitude, good with Sower, Spell Queller, Relic Warder. Yeah, this card seems great here. It's a Nombo with the Containment Priest that we might be trying to wheel. Alright, I just passed Stoneforge Mystic, unfortunately, but let's take the Lion Sash. Pretty good one. This is looking like a very, very good deck for Recruiter of the Guard. I would love to see that in Pack 3 if possible. Alright, I'll take Archangel Avacyn. It may or may not make the cut for the main deck. Oh, Containment Priest was snagged. That's too bad, but we'll take the Vanguard. Nice, Flicker Wisp on the wheel. So, we don't, now that we don't have, Ephemerate and Flicker Wisp are better now that we are not playing Containment Priest, which is worth noting. Flicker Wisp also makes History of Benalia a lot better. You can make 2 knights, and then when this is about to go to chapter 3, flicker it with Flicker Wisp. Make 2 more knights, and then this third chapter is really good if you have 4 knights in play. That's swinging for 16. Our creature count is somewhat high, but I would like it to be a little higher. Nice. Wow, I was not expecting to see a last pick, or second to last pick Thraben Inspector, but that is exactly what the doctor ordered. Honestly, this deck doesn't have any real holes. Like, if the draft ended right now, we would be slightly short on playables, but we'd be looking okay. And we have an entire last pack to fortify it with upgrades. Maybe Mother of Runes, maybe... Like, I don't even know. Like, more fast mana is the thing we really want. No fast mana here. In fact, just a bad pack for us here. Selfless Spirit is probably the pick, but that's not very good for our first pick. Yeah, no other cards that really do anything. This is one of the worst packs I've ever seen, actually. Faithless Looting and Llanowar Elves are both okay. And then, like, I guess Chandra's good. The red cards are fine, but... Really, really weak pack, just in general, and then certainly for us. We'll take this, but probably not even play it. The fact that we're not playing our first pick from a pack is kind of brutal. I guess I'll put it here for now. Really, really hoping that we can get some better stuff in picks 2 through 15. Fixing is the other thing that would be really nice. Esper Sentinel and Chrome Mox. There's also Jace, but I don't think we need Jace. Let's take the Chrome Mox here. Esper Sentinel is a good card, but this, like, we don't have that many 1-drops. We really want to be accelerating in this deck, and this is not as good as a real Mox, but still pretty good. Hopefully Esper Sentinel comes around. We got, like, a second to last pick Thraben Inspector, so I think it's fairly likely that it does. But it's not an essential card. This card is better in Modern, I think, than it is in Vintage Cube. It's good in Vintage Cube sometimes, but... Yeah, let's take the Chrome Mox. Ooh, okay. I think we got to take the Jite here. Wandering Emperor is good, but yeah, GTA is a really strong card. I do want to have a high creature count, but this is the kind of card that makes me okay with playing a non-creature. We also only have Thalia for taxing effects. If we also had Vryn Wingmare, then I would like be more reticent to play non-creatures. I think we can move Parallax Wave and Archangel Avacyn and maybe even Sower of Temptation to the board. Um, I'm just thinking ahead. They're all cards that I'm fine playing, but we're going to need to make a lot of cuts here, which is always a good place to be, even if it can be a little painful. Would love to see some fixing here. I would also love to see. Oh, okay, a couple pretty good cards here. Is this a Teferi deck? That's not really in the theme of the deck so far, but it's a very powerful card. I think I actually am going to pick up the Teferi. It's bad with Thalia, and there will be some situations where it just like is an awkward card, but the power level is very high, and it plays really well with Black Lotus. We could even turn one Teferi. Hero of Bladehold's fine. Like Thieving Skydiver is, I think, the second best card here for us. And this is a really strong card. It's way weaker than Teferi, but it is better in this deck specifically, potentially. We also could take Gaia's Cradle, but I think our fixing is too bad for that. There's also Noble Hierarch. I would love to play Noble Hierarch in this deck. We have 4 green sources. I don't think that's worth it. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Teferi based on power level. Close pick, though. Now we have not too much. I think I'm going to take Hangerback Walker. Actually, the Green Splash is tempting. Pest Infestation would be strong, but I think I just take the Hangerback Walker. No, Porcelain Legionnaire is probably a bit better, actually. Okay, Trinket Mage can get Black Lotus and Chrome Mox. Oh, I wish I'd taken the Hangerback Walker now. It's Trinket Mage versus Usher of the Fallen. Let's take the Usher, actually. Let's keep the curve down. We're not a hyper aggro deck, but I still want to have cheap plays. Ooh, Mana Tithe. Alright, we'll take that. I would be tempted to take the Sensei's Divining Top if we taken the Trinket Mage, but we'll take the Mana Tithe instead. This is probably a 15-lander. Maybe not playing Port in the main deck, since we have kind of tough color requirements. Ooh, late Mother of Runes. That's a great pickup. Alright, what are we cutting here? I do think History of Benalia is pretty good. We could cut one of these random 2-mana creatures. We could cut Sower of Temptation. Here's our first pack, which is still bad for us. I guess I'll take Lingering Souls and not play it. No, Recruiter of the Guard is quite bad. Recruiter of the Guard would have been phenomenal for this deck. I still think we're looking alright, though. Maybe we actually don't play Teferi in the main deck. It's good with the Black Lotus, but it's kind of bad with the rest of our deck, and we can just bring it in for the grindy matchups. I think Moldrifter is honestly better for this deck because of the synergy with Flickerwisp, synergy with Ephemerate, the fact that it can carry a Jite, the fact that it's not awkward with Thalia, it can come down as a 3-drop. It's way weaker. If you're going to play a 5-mana card, you want it to be Teferi, not Moldrifter, but based on all the other synergies, I think we do play the Drifty Boy. And then, yeah, we can play 15 lands here. Jetmir's Garden is looking a bit awkward, but I do really want Misty Reinforced to get white. Gilded Drake and Esper Sentinel. I'll take the Sentinel, but Gilded Drake is interesting. And let's cut the Sower. At this point, I mean, we could just cut blue, but I really... Oh, Factor Fiction is awkward here. But I think I like the idea of splashing just Flickerwisp, Moldrifter, and playing like one island. Then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 blue sources for like 2 very, very good cards. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we can bring in, like, if we're playing against Control, we have like a good sideboard plan of bringing in Factor Fiction to Fairy for some grinding capabilities. Okay, Birthing Pod's actually kind of interesting here. Yeah, Birthing Pod is actually pretty sweet. Are we playing this in the main deck? I've never played Birthing Pod in the main deck in Vintage Cube, but I think that's actually potentially the play here. And now we can take a Hero of Bladehold, which is really good with Black Lotus specifically. Armageddon, good sideboard card. Wall of Omens, also a good sideboard card. Heartbeat of Spring, okay. Is Pod worth it? It gives us a lot more ways to find Palace Jailer, which is our best card by a massive margin. We also have a couple green sources to make it less painful. You know what? I'm going to try it. We'll cut the Hero Blade Hold. We're going to play one 4-drop creature, although this makes me want to play the Sower too. Because then we can even pod the creature that we steal off the Sower. So what are we cutting if we want to do it like this? Maybe we cut History of Benalia. Yeah, we can cut History of Benalia to keep the creature count high. Then do we play 15 lands? Let's see how the fixing looks. Oh, no forest. So we're playing 3 blue cards. We are playing 1 double blue card. This gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 blue sources. Let's go up to 5. Plus the Lotus. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 white. That's plenty. Yeah, I think we'll run it like this. This is a pretty sweet deck. I've never played like Ephemerate and Birthing Pod are both cards that I haven't used too much in this format, but they have really high upside. So yeah, we'll submit like this. Our removal is a little weak, although I guess we do have like Apparition, Palace Jailer, Solitude, Sower, so we'll see. The deck seems kind of sweet. See you in round 1. Alright, we have our opponent for round 1, Almost Old Man 29. I'll keep this hand, it's a bit heavy on the lands, but I think it's playable. We have our colors, we have a Colonnade, and turn 1 Mother of Runes is always good. Whoops. Oh, playing against a fan, that's always fun to see. Alright, playing against a red deck. I don't think I'm going to accept this trade if they offer it, which they probably will do. We can't get protection from colorless. So, Boma Courier is kind of good against Mother of Runes, but we can play Porcelain Legionnaire and then protect the Porcelain Legionnaire from removal, and the Legionnaire can block the Beaumont Courier, so this shouldn't be able to attack much longer. Oh, Fury. Okay. Well, that's a good play from the opponent, like, taking this out as soon as you can. Like, this card can really warp the game. We'll see if they have another removal spell. Oh, we draw Jite. That's a pretty good one. Let's get the Legionnaire down. And pass back. If they kill the Legionnaire, we're in kind of rough shape. We have no more action. But any creature that we draw is going to be very good with this Jite. Okay, they play Copter. That's fine. And then the question is, do we want to attack? Ooh. I think we will attack. Copter is actually quite good against what we have going on. I'm going to attack. That means they can get another counter on the Beaumont Courier, but if we didn't attack, they could just use the Courier to crew the Copter. And we are an aggressive deck, too. Like, we're playing against red. Typically, when you play against red decks, you just want to be on the defensive, but we're also an aggressive deck, and if we can take the initiative, that's pretty good. And trading 3 damage for 1 is a good trade, of course. Runaway Steamkin, okay. That's not too scary as the card here. Then Goblin Guide, okay. Well, aggressive play here. They can swing for 6, but now we just get to equip the Jite to the Legionnaire, and that's pretty good. We could also play Palace Jailer, but that's a bit of a liability against the Copter, so we might just not play the Palace Jailer this game. So we're going to take 6. I would like to kill this Beaumont Courier before they can draw some cards off of it, so I think that's what I'm going to prioritize with the Jite, but it's kind of close. Birthing Pod on top. That's kind of funny. It's pretty bad here. Pallet. We can use Pallet Jailer to get Solitude in a few turns, but we're probably just not going to be doing that. I think just equipping GTA is better. And I'm definitely going to be sideboarding out Birthing Pod in this matchup. Birthing Pod out. Wall of Woman's in. Potentially Parallax Wave in. Well, I do think Pod actually works in this deck in general, but it's not going to work in this game specifically. Alright, so down to 11. We draw the Pod. Let's just equip, swing, kill the Courier. We're going to be taking a lot of damage here, though. Hell Rider, okay. Are we just dead on board, actually? They can hit for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we actually are dead on board. We can gain 2 life. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, alright. Can't win this one. GTA is normally enough, but they had a great draw. They curved out very well. It's possible we should have just taken out this Runaway Steamkin instead with the GTA. Kind of close, but that's fine. I think this should be a good matchup, even though we lost game 1. Let's bring out the Pod for sure. Palace Jailer is kind of interesting. Let's get the Sower because it's weak to removal. Parallax Wave is probably worth it. Um. Okay, what's the last cut? Oh, I think I'm gonna cut Horizon Canopy for basic. Just basic planes. Oh, Dante Vanguard is kind of sketchy. It's fine. Like I do think there's an argument to just trying to be aggressive and take the initiative and just have us be the beatdown. But I think it's still just a little too sketchy to pay 4 life, especially multiple times. There's an argument for Hero of Bladehold too. It's very bad on defense, but it's a great attacker and it survives Lightning Bolt. But I think I'm gonna try and keep the curve down. Maybe on the draw we could bring it in over Muldrifter. So the best thing that we could find here, or the best thing that our deck can do in this matchup is Solitude Ephemerate. We don't have Solitude Ephemerate, but we do have both of our colors, and we have Muldrifter Ephemerate, which is pretty good. So definitely a keep. Braven Inspector is very strong against Beaumont Courier. It's not great against Goblin Guide. We definitely do want to find another land. Okay, good. Beaumont Courier. So they can't attack. I will play the Legionnaire, but hopefully it's tempting to just crack the clue if we don't find the land, because I really want to set up Muldrifter, Muldrifter plus Ephemerate, but we do find the land, luckily, so we'll drop the Legionnaire into play, and then I think I'm just going to pass. Yeah, I don't think hitting for 1 is that relevant. They could have Fury, which would be good here. Fury is just good against our deck. There's not much we can do about it, but we can just recoup the advantage if we have Muldrifter Ephemerate. Oh, Mana Crypt. Okay, that's actually not bad at all. They can't even attack. Oh, well, now it's bad. Now it's very bad. This is a busted start. We will, I guess, just Path the Hellrider plus, yeah, Path Hellrider and crack the clue if we don't draw something, but this is a bad position. What are we hoping to draw? I guess just Solitude, actually. Yeah, Solitude would be our best draw. Then we could take out both of their creatures, pitching the path, and then use Muldrifter to recoup the advantage. Yep. Spell Queller. That's not that good here. Well, it actually could be good. We're going to pass. Our life total is not super high, but it's not terrible either. If they play like a 3 or 4 drop, we could just Queller it. That's fine. And then they will they can attack with Hellrider for 4, but they could not attack with a Beaumont Courier. If they just go to combat, okay, against Layla, I think we should do this. So we will quell this. This it combos with Beaumont Courier, so it would get 2 counters. Now they're gonna hit us for 4. We're gonna fall to 7. We need them to not have too much more action. Okay, Karakas is fine. They get hit us for 4. We would really like to see a land. Skyclave Apparition. Okay, I'll play that instead. Take out the Hellrider. I also want to take out the Mana Crypt, but I think we do Hellrider first. And I'm going to leave this back because I want to be able to block if they have a removal spell. We need to... They have only 1 card, though, so we can turn the corner soon. They keep on winning their Mana Crypt flips, which is a bit sad, but it's fine. Hopefully no removal spell. If they just go land, go, then we're very ahead. Especially if we can find a land. If we find a land, we can play evoke Muldrifter, and then ephemerate it, and draw 4 cards. Phyrexian Revoker on Mother of Runes, that's fine. And then land. Okay, so we are in a great position now, but hopefully we find a land soon. So they're going to get to draw 2. Do we find the land? Ooh. Okay, yeah, I think I will play that. It's not like I would honestly rather land here, but this is fine. So let's go evoke Muldrifter. We draw 2. Then ephemerate Muldrifter. If they have a kill spell here, then it's fine. It's still not too bad for us. Alright, so we get to totally restock our hand. That's great. Draw 2 more cards. Don't mind drawing some lands there. Now we can go... I think I'm going to play Skyclave or Selfless Spirit and hold up Path to Exile. And then we'll swing for 2 in the air. And now we're very much in the driver's seat. Our life total is high enough that I'm not too worried about getting burned out. There are things that they could have that would beat us here, but we're definitely in a good position. And we have Path to Exile ready for Thundermaw Hellkite, which would be the worst, like the scariest thing. They have won 3 flips in a row, so they would be low on life, but now they're relatively healthy. If they attack, I will trade with... I'll trade with the Selfless Spirit, actually. I think this is fine. We have an Ephemerate coming back, so we can hit our Muldrifter and draw even more. Could also use Skyclave Apparition to take out the Crypt, but we're sort of past the point where that's relevant. So we're drawing 6 cards off of this Muldrifter. That's kind of disgusting. Okay. I think I will play Sentinel and Revoker Naming Crypt. Now Mana Crypt is just going to sit and play, dealing damage to them. And we can hit them for 4. Their life total is still kind of high, but again, they have Mana Crypt. They have won all their flips so far, but they should start losing them soon. and we're still at 7. They Rolling Earthquake is the only X damage burn spell in the format that I'm aware of, and now with Mana Crypt gone, they can only hit us for 4. If they go like, if they had 3 cards, they could kill us from this position. Man, they've won every single flip still. Quite a wizard with the coins. Okay, now that we know they have Karakas, we're definitely not bringing in Archangel Avacyn. Things are certainly going to get tougher on the draw. We're going to game 3 now. Okay, do we want to make any changes? These cards are all kind of bad. Lingering Souls is decent. It's honestly almost good enough just to play it, just to make 1/1s, but they don't have that many X1 creatures. I think I like Hero of Bladehold over Palace Jailer when we're on the draw. Palace Jailer is very good, but it's bad against Copter, bad against their dragons. Just in general, like, they are on the play, they're going to have the initiative. Playing cards like this are a little bit risky. Yeah, I think we run it like this. There's an argument for just cutting blue, but the blue cards were key there. This took out Layla, and then this drew us 6 cards. So we're contorting our mana base a bit just to play 2 cards, which is a little dicey against mono red on the draw, but I think the power level of those cards is so high that it's worth it. We also don't have like that great grinding ability without them. If we had tons of white planeswalkers, we could just afford to win with the planeswalkers, but if we're just playing a bunch of little creatures and they're also playing a bunch of little creatures, but they have burn spells and they're going first, we kind of lose that game. So we need something to break the parity and be able to win the long game, and Mole Drifter in particular is a good way to do that. Interesting. Definitely keeping this hand, but it's kind of awkward. Misty Rainforest can only get a blue source. Do we play Black Lotus on turn 1? One option is to play Misty Rainforest, Black Lotus, Jite, Thalia, and then plan on equipping... If we draw a land, I think I'll do that. We don't draw a land, though. Turn 1 History of Benalia is kind of weak, too. I think I'm going to take 1 turn off, play Jetmir's Garden, and then next turn we're going to go... we're going to make our Black Lotus move. This is looking like a situation where we're going to win if they don't have Fury, and we're going to lose if they do. Hopefully they flip a land. We do really want lands here. Selfless Spirit on top. Okay, one option is... Okay, there's a few options here. I think the best one is to play Selfless Spirit, History of Benalia, off and play the Black Lotus. That's ignoring the Thalia. We could also play Thalia, but the thing is, we want to play the Jite, but they also... Oh, that's so... Yeah, let's play around Fury. I think it's pretty likely that they have Fury here. So we'll play this, crack this for white, play History of Benalia, and Selfless Spirit. And then best case scenario is we find a land, and then we can flicker our History of Benalia. And if we don't find land, we can play either Thalia or Jite. Nice, we do hit the land. Okay, so let's actually do this trade. Okay, they find their land and play Young Pyromancer. Okay, that doesn't matter too much. We're still soft to Fury, which is why that was actually probably a misplay. I think we should have blocked for the Knight. I was thinking that I wanted to be able to have Vigilance and attack and sort of play offense and defense at the same time, but now we are softer to Fury. They might not have it, and if they don't have it, we're in a great spot. And even if they do have it, it's actually fine. Like they can kill two of our knights, but then we still have Flicker Wisp plus another knight. If they had Fury plus Ephemerate, we would die, but I don't think they're playing any white spells. Okay, Revoker. If they have Revoker on its own, that's fine. Revoker into Fury would not be. If we draw land for GTA, then the game is just over. Ephemerate. Interesting. Okay, let's attack with everything. We're definitely on the beatdown here. Alright, if they're trading down on resources, that's good for us. Let's put the GTA into play. Yeah, don't play Ephemerate. We could play Legionnaire, but I think I would like holding up Ephemerate. If they pass with mana up, then Ephemerate on Flicker Wisp is kind of risky. But if they don't do anything, we're massively ahead, so I think that's just fine. And if they play anything, then we can Flicker Wisp. Then we can Ephemerate. Actually, I think I'm still going to go for the Ephemerate. If they have the removal spell for the Flicker Wisp, they get a 2-for-1, but then we get to equip GTA without fear of getting burned. Yeah, this is actually fine. Because if we hadn't done this, then we wouldn't get to use the GTA. And I think that's a high priority here. Interesting. I think I'm just going to pitch the Parallax Wave here. Oh no, let's pitch Thalia. Because they have Caracas. This way we can equip and then also play Legionnaire. So they should just chump block one of the knights with a Beaumont Courier here. Alright, this is fine. We hit them down to 9. We get our GTA counters. We can put Legionnaire into play. And I think they're dead on board next turn. They are dead on board, and we can remove blockers, so they need to find a removal spell. Chain Lightning. Okay. So we can put them to 1 on board now. Which I think is probably worth it. The alternative would be to hold the GTA counters on it, but I think I'd rather just be aggressive. So plus 2/2, plus 2/2, take 8. And then I'm actually not going to play the Parallax Wave. I don't think there's much advantage to doing it. They know about it, and we have mana for next turn. Alright, GG's. Interesting match. Our opponent got a little mana. They got flooded in game 2, mana screwed in game 3. The Magic Classic, kind of frustrating, but we've all been there. It's part of the game. Alright, so we're 1-0. I'll see you in round 2. Alright, here we are for round 2 against Ric Flair 101. We are on the play with a great hand. We'll keep. Very aggressive. Hopefully we're playing against a control deck. This could be a little bit soft. Like, we don't have removal, so if they're just ramping into a quick Elder Gargaroth, we could have a problem. We do have an answer to a Soul Ring or something, which they don't have. Alright, solid draw. Let's play Adonto Vanguard because it hits the hardest. Now, best case scenario, they just tap out for a Signet. Then we take it out, hit them for 5, and they just die before they can really get established. Playing against Bant. Honestly, Bant Could be a problematic color combination for us. Okay, I think I will Leon and Relic Warder this. Don't mind drawing a land, even though we're not using it this turn. Alright, take 5. Elite Spellbinder. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. If we draw a land, we can play and equip GTA if they don't take that. Yeah, no matter what they take, they're kind of in a bad spot. I think they will probably take the GTA. We just want to draw a land, but almost any draw in our deck is good. I guess any draw other than a blue card, and maybe Palace Jailer. Chrome Mox would be kind of awkward. Okay, they take the GTA, that's fine. Ephemerate, interesting. So we could Solitude, Ephemerate. Nah, I think we're just going to play Selfless Spirit and attack. And if they block anything, then I'll sack the Selfless Spirit. Oh, interesting. They take it all? Wow, that's super risky. But sure, we'll go to 6. We're insulated against a board sweeper. I mean, there's not much they could have here. I feel like they should have blocked. GTA. Well, they know we have Solitude, so this doesn't really work. We also can just block and sack. So, yeah, there's multiple reasons why this doesn't work. I think the safest line is just to block and sack. So the only thing that they could have here is, well, potentially Force of Will and potentially Solitude. I think I'm going to choose to block and sack here and hold up potential Solitude plus Ephemerate. Yeah, this seems like it's a good spot. So now if they Solitude the Leon and Relic Warder to try and get a blocker back, we can Ephemerate the Relic Warder. I guess then we're only putting them to 1, but yeah, okay, yeah, we win. So, Bant, honestly, it should be a bad matchup, is my guess, because they're playing the same deck as us, but with just, like, more access to broken blue cards, potentially. What changes do we want to make, if any? I think this is a matchup for Birthing Pod. Potentially a matchup for Teferi. Like, basically, the question is, do we want to try and go under them again, or do we want to try to play a long game? I would like to go under them, but on the draw, that's obviously going to be a little harder. Like, GTA is so good against us, and there's not much we can do to fix that. Is pod worth it? Maybe not. I really want to get the pod thing going, but I think I'm going to make this exchange on the draw. Yeah, Teferi is just so good. We'll try this. There's an argument for Archangel Avacyn, argument for Hero of Bladehold, but we're going with the power level. Alright, solid hand. Mother of Runes is obviously great. Hopefully they don't have a way to kill her. They're down to 6. We will keep this hand. Oh no, not Ancestral Recall. Well, there you go. They are now up on cards solidly. We'll get the mom down, pass turn. Spellqueller was a kind of funny draw. It's not bad, but it means we can't, if we want to have Spellqueller on turn 3, we can't play GTA on turn 2. Suspend a Riftwing, okay. Interesting. Not that good of a draw, to be honest. We could put counters on GTA, but I don't think that's worth it. Well, huh. So we could play and equip GTA, and then play Colonnade, and have Queller up for next turn. The problem is then Mother Runes is exposed. I think I'm actually going to do that, though. It's not a great use of Black Lotus, but I don't think we're going to get a better window by waiting. Maybe we'll top deck to Fairy, and then I'll wish we had held off. But with almost anything else, like we have lands, we have all of our colors. I think the thing that puts me over the top is that it lets us get the Colonnade into play. But it's definitely not the best use of Lotus, like I said. Interesting situation. Ponder, okay. This is on 2, so we're going to want to make sure to leave the Mother of Runes back when they cast this. Then they can bounce the GTA if they want, but we can use the GTA counters to kill the Riftwing. Mana Vault, okay. So that's a little scary. They have a lot of mana over there. Palace Jailer's a good draw. We're going to attack. I think I'm just going to attack for 5, actually. Okay. If they block, we can just kill it. So I'm going to let this resolve. Either way, we can kill it. This doesn't do anything. So plus 2/2. Plus 2/2. This is the power of GTA. You just always win combat when you have Umezawa's GTA. Now I can pass. Still have 2 GTA counters. Their Mana Vault's tapped. Yeah, that was not a good use of Restoration Angel. It literally just traded with 2 GTA counters. I don't know if they didn't realize how it worked or what, but that was a good exchange for the good guys. Let's just say that much. Still have Queller up. They don't make a play. Alright, I'm not just going to jam the Queller here. Definitely not playing Palace Jailer into the Riftwing. I mean, I guess we could and use the GTA, but I think I'm going to just hold up Spell Queller again. And I will actually attack here. Like, if they bounce the Mother of Runes, that's fine. So they take 5, we get 2 counters. So, worst case scenario is they bounce the Colonnade, because then we don't have Queller up. I think I'm tempted to just jam the Queller if that happens, because we're not really going to have a good window to get this into play later. They bounce the GTA. Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. Now we'll just kill their Riftwing. If they have like another Restoration Angel, like if they have Ephemerate or something, we can Spell Queller that. Okay. GTA has been so good. It killed their Restoration Angel, it killed their Riftwing, and it's hit them for 4. So definitely the Black Lotus play has been paying off. Now we're going to quell whatever they play here. Oh, definitely going to quell that. And then we jam Palace Jailer and win. They might just concede to the Queller, actually. We could also play an equip GTA. Alright, they just concede. So, very smooth round 2. I'll see you in the finals. Alright, fighting for the trophy against Kai Storm. We are on the play, which is always a good place to be. And this hand is just great. No 1-drop, but Curving Thalia into 2 bodies that remove things is like kind of disgustingly good. If the opponent doesn't have fast mana, this hand actually beats like almost any deck in the format, I think. If we had a Mox, it would be just unreal. Turn 1, land Mox Thalia. Turn 2, land, Selfless Spirit, turn 3 Palace Jailer is way too good for most decks. No fast mana, great news. Dahlia. Okay, if they're not going to play anything, then we're going to get the Selfless Spirit down, of course, rather than just jamming a naked Skyclave. Take 2. Do we want to play Jetmir's Garden? I think I actually will. And the reason for that is that with Palace Jailer, we're going to have decent card draw. So I don't really think we're going to have a window where we want to... Oh, that's too bad. Okay, yeah, I think I'm still going to jam the Garden here, I think. Okay. We'll see what they get with this, but we're probably going to just Palace Jailer that. It's not a creature that I care that much about, but I just don't want them to have creatures on the battlefield if they're going to be... If the Monarchy is going to be in play. Alright, I'm just going to play Island Jailer. If they have Force of Will, we're in kind of bad shape, but they don't have the Force, so now we're in a phenomenal position. We can hit them for 2. I don't think, based on what they have, it really doesn't look like they'll have any hasty creatures. They can hit Torok, that's fine. Our hand is okay, but, like, we're drawing 2 cards a turn. Okay, land, Revoker, that's okay. They still don't play anything for us to Skyclave, and we draw land, alright. I'm not going to jam the Skyclave Apparition here. It does speed up our clock, but we're not killing them next turn either way. So I think I would rather keep a removal spell. Cycle miscalculation, okay. Man, we're only playing 15 lands. 5, 6, 7, 8 are now accounted for. They play Narset. That shuts down the Monarchy, but we can kill that with Skyclave. We could also kill that by just attacking, but I don't think that's necessary. They don't have mana for Counterspell. We draw Flicker Wisp. Okay, I'm gonna just jam the Skyclave. Hit for 4, and then I think I'm going to leave the Flicker Wisp in hand. That insulates us against Toxic Deluge. It's kind of close. I think we win either way. Against Grave Titan, I guess... Well, this is fine. But actually, yeah, we do get kind of punished by this. Now we cannot kill them this turn. Still a very good position, though. So let's go... We'll hit them for 2 in the air, then play Flicker Wisp to Flicker Palace Jailer. Okay, Solitude is probably the icing on the cake there. If they have 2 removal spells, we can still play around that with Selfless Spirit. If they became the Monarch, that would be bad, because they would get back Grave Titan plus their Spell Seeker. But, alright, we take them down. So, blue-black mid-range. Another matchup that could be a little sketchy, because they have good removal, it looks like. But, we take down game 1. Let's bring in these 2... Let's bring, I think, again, sorry, Birthing Pod, but we never really got there with the Birthing Pod. We're going to be cutting this because I don't really like cards like this against decks with tons of removal. We're also going to cut Sower of Temptation. Do we want to make any other changes? Jite is potentially weak. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut Jite. That's not really what this matchup is about. And bring in probably History of Benalia. Could also bring in a land, but we're on the draw. Yeah, I'll bring in History of Benalia. This way we get to stay very threat dense, which is a good place to be. There's an argument to cutting Ephemerate too, because it's weak to removal, and in particular weak to Snuff Out, but the upside is so high that I think it's worth it. Okay, I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little sketchy, and it's not a good Lotus hand, but we have very good top decks. Like, if we draw Teferi or Palace Jailer or something, we can kind of go off. All right, now we have an interesting choice. Do we want to just drop 2 dudes into play on turn 1? I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I mean, that just 6 power on turn 1 can win a lot of games. If we were on the play, I would definitely do this, but I think it's worth it on the draw too. This is also good against Snuff Out. Neither of these creatures can be killed by Snuff Out very effectively. All right, Thalia was a perfect follow-up. I'm going to start by swinging. I wish I had Thalia in the opener, but cannot complain. Thalia? They might have Counterspell or Miscalculation, but that's fine. Oh, Mana Drain. That's not fine. So they're going to have 5 mana now. They can't play Grave Titan, but there's some really scary things they could do here. This is the key turn of the game. If we get to untap and hold up Spell Queller without the board being drastically different, then I think we can win. Whoa, Strider. Okay, that's totally fine. I mean, it makes them some chump blockers, but I'm not too afraid of that. If they don't even have a land, then I really like our position. Okay. Land to hold up Spell Queller, and then it'll swing, and they can... However they block is fine. They can use this basically as a fog, block a Dante Vanguard to hit us for 4, and then block and scry with the goat. That's my guess for what they do. They might just take it. Or actually, they'll almost only block with the goat and scry, looking for land. But the thing is, they had 4 mana last turn, and they could only do a Woe Strider, so I'm not that afraid of whatever they do. Okay, this is totally fine. Let's pay the 4 life. We're dealing ourselves a lot of damage here, but I'm not too worried about that. I guess I don't want to get to the point where we just, like, get killed by 2 Creeping Tar Pit swings, but still, looking pretty good here. We have Queller up this turn to shut down anything that they do. Oh, I don't even think well, no, I will counter this. Just because it speeds up our clock, though. Ashiok does so little, but they could hit a creature. Okay, they just concede. Yeah, that was not a close game. You also should sideboard out Ashiok in that matchup. I don't know what they have in their board, but it's a common mistake. Ashiok is just, like, literally game-ending against combo decks. Very, very good against control, often also game-ending, and just, like, terrible against aggro. So, cut Ashiok when you play against decks like mine. Really solid trophy there. This deck was great. We got to do some... It was mostly a mono-white deck, which I've done many times, of course, but it did have some really interesting, unique synergies. We never did the birthing pod thing, so that was too bad, but I'm really happy we were able to pull off Ephemerate Moldrifter to draw 6 cards at one point. That was sweet. We also got some really nice Black Lotus starts. We didn't have, like, turn 1 Palace Jailer ever, but, like, turn 1 2, 3 power creatures is potentially even better in a lot of matchups, and so that was pretty sweet. We also got to get some History of Benalia Flicker Wisp shenanigans, which was a good time. Yeah, just a solid deck all around. I think the mana was a little sketchy. If we had gotten a Tundra, then it would have been a lot more solid, but still, can't really complain. We had a good aggressive clock, sufficient card advantage, a lot of disruptive creatures, which is key, and that made us a really good Thalia deck, too. It's just a solid league all around. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.